One of these pictures was taken with the brand new iPhone 16 Pro Max, and the other one was taken with the professional Sony setup worth $5,000. Comment below which photo you think is taken with which camera and why, and I'll reveal the answer in just a few minutes. So this is the new iPhone 16 Pro Max. Awesome. I don't know how they come up with all of the names for it, but we're gonna do a shoot on the beach today to see if the new lenses, the new color filters, the new shutter button, I think they call it a capacitive switch for some reason. It's actually gonna help out and make it worth the upgrade for photography. And at the end, we're gonna give you some tips on some settings that I think that you need to change in order to get the most out of your iPhone photography. Let's go. Sit down with your feet kicked out that way and your hand kicked out that way. You'll be kind of like this. Okay, portrait mode. Yes, I love it. Okay, you're gonna be peeking out towards the ocean there. That's great. And take your hair and kind of go real crazy. Yes. Okay, amazing. So the first thing I want to talk about is this new camera control button, because it's not what I expected. So to open the camera now, you've got a dedicated button. You just push that to the side, beautiful. And then to take a picture, you just push that again. But when you half press on the camera control button, it'll come up with a setting that you can change, like exposure or zooming. And I always thought that iPhone pictures were generally too bright for me. So I was excited to have a dedicated dial that would allow me to just swipe through the exposure.
Oh, that was a big one.
So I thought, great, now I've got an exposure button, I can just swipe and it'll change the exposure. But no, you half press at a specific pressure in order to have that show up.
So I can see that my exposure is like pretty bright. So with a little press in here, we can darken down the exposure a little bit and then snap that photo. I love that. Whose Apple is that? Is this your breakfast?
It is now. That's the iPhone?
I didn't pay her to say that, I promise.
And while it's nice having a dedicated shutter button, I found that while shooting vertical, for the amount of pressure I had to apply to take the picture, I had to add that counter pressure on the other side of the phone, which didn't make for a very stable experience. So in all honesty, I'm probably still gonna use the button on the touch screen to take pictures when I'm shooting vertically. But the new feature that I'm probably most excited about that only comes on the new iPhone 16 are the moods and tones, which might do away with my need for an exposure slider in the first place. But before we get to that, I wanna see if you guessed correctly during the intro of which photo was taken with the iPhone and which with the Sony. Both these photos were shot in RAW with my own Ever Summer presets applied, and the iPhone had artificial lens blur that was added in Lightroom. So yes, the image on the left is the iPhone and the image on the right is the Sony. I'm pretty impressed, but I'm honestly not super surprised that they look so similar. To me, the biggest differences don't necessarily show up in good light when you're shooting a subject that's not moving and your deliverable is on a screen. The portrait mode depth map still messes up all the time. And if you want to shoot in RAW, you still have to add that blur in after the fact, which is time consuming. And to only have focal lengths of 13, 24, and 120 leaves out most of the focal lengths that I use on a regular basis. So if I'm a total stranger to you guys, I'm Mike Sasser, I'm a professional boudoir photographer, and if I have one main tip to improve your iPhone photos, it's wipe your damn lens. The number of finger smudges I see when people take iPhone photos is just ridiculous. That one thing is going to totally transform your photos. Do it right now, get your phone out, wipe it out, take a picture, see how much more professional you look. I'm kind of getting like a little playful morning vibe. I want you to kind of be like, just kind of kicking around and playing in the water. Yeah, exactly. Faster, faster, faster. Oh, keep going, running. Nice, I love that. Let's take a second to talk about the new moods and tones adjustments. So if we tap here in the top right, we've got a couple of different possible of these new, I don't know what you'd call them, moods maybe. Okay, these are gonna be a little bit more warmer amber. I've liked standard gold, looks actually quite beautiful. In here we could slide, and if we go to the top right, this is gonna be brighter and also more saturated. And then if we bring it down, it's gonna be darker and more saturated. We bring it to the left, less saturated and darker and brighter. So you can kind of dial in with a little bit more accuracy what you're looking to get just from here. All right, you guys, I just want to pause the video here for a second and say that it has been about 3 weeks since I did that beach shoot. I got the phone the very next day. I set up a shoot with a friend. But yeah, every time I sat down to edit it, I struggled. I was like, well, what is this video about? Why am I making this video? How is this relevant to me, it's like the perfect opportunity for a YouTube video. New iPhone comes out, it's got the new camera control button. You can change the settings by swiping. I mean, it's a photography thing. Let's do it, let's make a YouTube video. And just every time I sat down to work on it, I got stuck. And so now that it's been 3 weeks, honestly, I haven't really used that camera control button like almost at all, which is one of the tricky things about getting a product and trying to rush content out. It's just not that much different from pushing on the screen. The haptic feedback is nice, but it's really not that much different of an experience. And to be able to change the settings on the side, like I was really excited about, it's just not as seamless an experience as I was hoping, because I was excited, you were excited, I was excited. But the one thing that I actually have found quite useful are the moods, the new moods. I've set it to the gold mood, I've got a little saturation boost, and I am a happy clam. I think my images look nicer straight out of the iPhone. I've done far less editing afterwards, going in, tapping the auto button and changing some of the settings, because I think it looks much better just straight out of camera. So I think they did an amazing job with that. I mean, take a look at this sunset that I took this morning. Here's a standard, but if we, in the gold, we just shift it to the right a little bit and we bring the tone down, like that's really amazing and easy and simple, and it doesn't look like it's oversaturated. You guys know I love warm tones, my Ever Summer presets, they're all built to be super warm in tonality. So it's amazing to be able to have something just with that kind of energy straight out of the camera. So this to me was the most welcome change with the new iPhone 16 Pro Max Ultra Super camera. But yeah, so funny I got stuck there and I could not bring myself to finish the video in the traditional sense. But I do have some more videos coming out. I shot with Amanda at this really cool hotel. We're bringing you some posing tips in that video, so make sure you subscribe to see those. And yeah, I just got this recently. I have been feeling like I've been refilling my water jugs so often that I was like, screw it, I'm just getting a big one. Do you guys have a big one like this? It's amazing. I just fill it up with ice, stays cold, just some Amazon company. This is from another water bottle. Don't think that I think this looks good. I know this doesn't look good, but the rubber's very functional and I enjoy it. So, hope you guys stay hydrated. I'll see you in the next video.